Hello, and I hope everyone is well as we begin week 3 of English 112. Just a few things to point out to you this week. You'll notice in your resources that you have an essay set that's called Obedience to Authority. And once you download those, it would probably be a really good idea to print those off so that you can make reference to them, annotate them, highlight them, do whatever you need to. This is from a chapter in an anthology, and this chapter title is Obedience to Authority. And so the 3 essays that I'm asking you to read are actually a set of sociological experiments dating back to the late 40s, early 50s, 60s, and 70s. And you can see a progression of how social science has grown. And so really what these essays attempt to do is to answer the question, to what degree do human beings conform to authority, and what are some of the factors that come to play? I think you'll find these to be some pretty fascinating studies. And so as you skim through these, you're going to find that you have an essay by Solomon Asch entitled Opinions and Social Pressure. As you read that, consider the experimental design and some of the factors that were tested to see what impact it would have on like the group size, what they were being asked to do, and then what the participants' responses were. You'll find at the end that there are some discussion and writing suggestions that can help you formulate some ideas for your essay for next week. That's due at the end of week 4. The second essay that you're reading is the Stanley Milgram essay, The Perils of Obedience. And then the final essay is the Stanford Prison Experiment by Philip Zimbardo. So those are the 3 essays to read. And what I'm asking you to do this week is to go to the discussion board. And in the discussion board for week 3, I have selected 3 questions, one about the Asch essay, one about the Milgram essay, and then one about the Zimbardo essay. Post your responses to these in one forum thread, and then respond to 2 other posts of your classmates. And so that'll be our discussion component. And that's really the only part you have to do this week, is to read and understand the essays and post on the discussion board. I would, however, suggest that you go ahead and start thinking about essay number 2. Essay number 2 is an explanatory synthesis. What that simply means is you're going to take all 3 of these essays and you're going to blend it into a cogent discussion tied to a thesis statement that analyzes the overall argument that you see unfolding in these 3 essays. And so then as you examine the claims, what you truly do in a synthesis is you take multiple sources and you blend it into a discussion. So in your body paragraphs, for example, if you're talking about a particular claim that's made throughout the 3 essays, then you might use 2 of the sources in that same paragraph to discuss how that claim is developed. So what I want you to move beyond just having one source per paragraph. In a true synthesis, you're blending source information into a discussion within the paragraph. And so you will use the 3 sources that you're reading from week 3 in the essay for week 4. I have included also a link to download a Word document so it'd make it easier for you to copy and paste. The APA formatting for these references is you're dealing with an article from an anthology that was originally published at an earlier time. So you have to blend several different types of APA formatting to get that accurate. So I've just gone ahead and done that as a model for you. You actually can copy and paste this into your essay so that you know you've got the APA reference formatting done correctly. Okay, now one other thing I'll tell you about the reading for this week is that there is a movie out there called The Stanford Prison Experiment that came out in 2015. If I'm not mistaken, it's available on Netflix. I'm not requiring that you watch it, but you might find it interesting to watch that. There's also a movie that came out in 2011 called The Experiment, which is based on the Stanford Prison Experiment as well. So you might find it useful to watch those if you have extra time on your hands while you're at home. You might want to watch 1 or 2 of those movies that are out there. As always, contact me via email. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I'll be glad to help you. As we did with Essay 1, you can submit that draft to me when you've got it together and get my feedback before you turn it in as a final summative draft. Other than that, that's all we have for week 3.